In 1976, television airways were filled with edgy sitcoms like All in the Family, MASH, and Good Times. But by the end of the year, audiences around the world would be introduced to a new kind of show.
It's the Muppet Show with our special guest star, Miss Rita Moreno.
Jim Henson was born in Greenville, Mississippi in 1936. Like most kids of his generation, the invention of television would play a significant role in his life. Henson was obsessed with the new medium. In high school, Henson took a job at a local TV station operating marionettes for a children's television show. Television was his passion. He once said in an interview, "If that ad had been looking for a weatherman, I'd be celebrating my 30th year as a weatherman." Henson studied puppetry at the University of Maryland, where he met his future wife, Jane. Jim's creations were more lifelike than regular puppets. He began to call them Muppets. Shortly after the two began working together, they started Muppets Inc. and soon became a hit on TV commercials and regular spots on The Tonight Show. In 1963, Jim and Jane moved to New York. They changed the name of the company to Henson Associates, and they attempted to pursue their own primetime network television show. In 1969, he was approached by not-for-profit Children's Television Workshop. Together, they created what would become a worldwide phenomenon, Sesame Street. In 1996, a survey revealed that 95% of American children had watched Sesame Street by the time they turned 3. Henson still saw a niche on primetime television for his brand of entertainment. He had very little success with American studios, but British TV welcomed him. Very soon, The Muppet Show was born. The show was an instant hit and was quickly picked up in syndication by American TV. From 1976 to 1981, The Muppet Show featured some of the most famous performers of the era. But Henson wasn't done creating. He opened the Henson Creature Workshop in London, England, where he would continue to make new creations, pushing technology to its limits. In 1979, the Muppets would make their big screen debut, and Jim would again break boundaries. Throughout the 1980s, Henson would create the children's show Fraggle Rock and movies Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. Henson Associates would evolve into Jim Henson Productions, and he would bring the Muppets back to the big screen with The Muppets Take Manhattan and The Great Muppet Caper. In 1989, the company caught the eye of media giant Walt Disney. Jim would enter into negotiations with Disney for the sale of Jim Henson Productions. Before the deal could be done, he suddenly died of an infection caused by bacterial pneumonia. Jim's son, Brian Henson, would take the helm of the company after the deal with Disney fell through. Under Brian's leadership and new name, the Jim Henson Company, the Muppets would appear in 2 more movies, The Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppet Treasure Island. They would also continue to provide creatures for children's shows and the hit TV series Dinosaurs to Sesame Workshop, the company that was producing the show at the time, and sold the Muppets to Disney for an estimated $200 million. After years of poor management, EMTV sold the Jim Henson Company back to the Henson family in 2006 for $89 million. Today, under the leadership of Brian and Lisa Henson, the company continues to produce creatures and content for children's shows around the world. Jim Henson used technology and entrepreneurial spirit to touch the lives of millions during his life. His legacy still entertains the world today.